Gikomba Pure app. Download today from the App Store and Play Store. Register by creating an account with your username, email, phone number and add your password of choice. Upload your products and start selling or buying seamlessly. Gikomba Pure app. A new digital market.
Alright guys, here today's top stories in Out to the World segment. Number 1. I've seen Musalia Mudavadi pretending that he's the one who secured the release of Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyo from Uganda, but that couldn't be farther from the truth. It took the intervention of Uhuru Kenyatta calling Museveni in order for the duo to be released. In fact, just listening to what Uhuru's point man Timothy Urunga had to say about this. Roll the tape.
There were a lot of complex negotiations that took place. One of them involved the former president of the Republic of Kenya, the fourth president, and that is Uhuru Kenyatta. And it is out of the negotiations and the discussions that took place at the very highest levels of the two governments, plus the former president, that we have had the two, Bob Njagi and Nick Oyo, return to Kenya in the way that they are. We would just like to say that we believe that that was also a product of the pressure of ordinary.
And shortly after, this is what Museveni said after the release of Bob Njagi and Oyo, and I quote, Uhuru Kenyatta called me, because of respect, I demanded the release of Nicholas and Bob. So I don't see how Mudavadi is taking credit, yet Museveni amesema it is out of respect to Uhuru Kenyatta. So hao wengine ni others. Now as Kenyans celebrate the return of the two activists, Cherargei decided to lecture them instead of welcoming them. Basically what he's saying is if you export your behavior to other countries, let those countries deal with you and then they bring you back home, we continue dealing with you. Here's the tip.
I want to warn our activists who are busybodies, stop exporting your bad manners to other countries. Stop it. Don't. The countries of Uganda, Tanzania are foreign countries. Tunashukuru Mheshimiwa Museveni alikubali kuachilia akina hawa Bob Njagi na wale wengine activists. Wezi enda kwa nyumba ya mtu unaanza kukorogana. Mimi nataka nimuulize Mheshimiwa Samia Suluhu Hassan, Mheshimiwa Museveni, I want to ask President Museveni and President Samia Suluhu Hassan, if you get any busybodies activists who want to destabilize the sovereignty and the peace and tranquility of your country, finya hawa, warudishe nyumbani tuwamalizie.
Now, you know, even a dead clock tells the right time at least twice a day. Now, for Cherargei, that entire statement, the half where he's saying they come home for them to continue to be dealt with, is wrong. But the first half, to be honest, is true. How long are we going to have our own citizens being exported as activists and bad, terrible things happen to them? Boniface Mwangi went to Tanzania, alinajisiwa. Bob Njagi and Oyo went to Uganda, they were kidnapped. They have just been released the other day. They are yet to tell us what happened to them. If you go do activism beyond the Kenyan border, there is very little that can be done. What you're doing is not wrong, but the people you are dealing with are very wrong. We have come to learn Samia Suluhu is worse than Idi Amin. Museveni in his own rights is at par with Idi Amin. Zero tolerance to any voice that says anything contrary. You'd better do the activism here where tunaweza fanya maandamano, we can raise awareness, tunaweza tuma rais nyumbani one term because we have a democracy and then the next president can follow up. But across the border, watu ni hatari. Kwanza East Africa. Better you play this game in England. Second story of the day, Gideon Moi'S was tricked by Ruto to step down in the Baringo senatorial race in exchange of deputizing Musalia Mudavadi as the new deputy prime cabinet secretary. But since then, Ruto has gone quiet and no longer talks about Gideon. So guess what? Gideon has decided to remove all the brakes and approach Mach 10 in terms of speed. Just have a look at what the Standard newspaper had to say on the cover page, and I quote, Trinity of Terror. And here we have Samia Suluhu, we have Museveni, and we have Ruto. These three are the so-called Trinity of Terror. The leaders were terrorizing their fellow countrymen with abductions, killings, orders ya kupiga watu risasi kwa mguu. Wengine they go as far as giving orders for people to be wanajisiwe and so on and so forth. So I agree with the Standard. This is a dangerous trio, but this is not something any of us expected from the Standard, considering we saw Gideon Moi'S in State House and so on and so forth. So the question is, why is Gideon doing it? The answer is very simple. When Raila Odinga was around, having been played by other governments, he decided he will work with Ruto, but Sifuna will be his contingency plan. He will never fully commit all his numbers and troops to Ruto until he gives them the deliverables, which to them is the office of the deputy president amongst other trinkets. So Sifuna was the stopgap measure to keep Kasongo in check. Now for Gideon Moi, the Standard newspaper is his own personal Sifuna. Yeye anafanya deal na Ruto. If it doesn't materialize or if it delays as we are seeing it happening now, Standard inaendelea kukaza na kukaza na kukaza. I think that is a very good strategy, because for William Ruto to do anything that he promised he will do, and it doesn't even benefit him directly, lazima ufanye maandamano, lazima uweke pressure for that thing to happen. So Gideon Moi'S is just another good student of Raila Odinga, and let's see how long this will last before Ruto either delivers what he promised him or turns up the ante and changes his heart towards Gideon and begins the onslaught. Third FL story of the day. Over the weekend, President Ruto was busy showing off his security team to the people of Samburu, but what he doesn't know is that he gave the terrorists a cheat sheet. Now they know who to surveil or target using cyber warfare in a bid to solicit information. Just listening to this recklessness.
Najua sasa mambo ya usalama ya Kenya hii yote karibu inasimamiwa na watu wa pande hii. Na mnajua mimi niko na huyu mtu yangu ya mkono, ADC wangu. Huyu Fabian ndio ADC wangu, ndio huyo ndio anajua 24 hours, anajua mahali mimi niko. Najua ameingia kwa hii nyumba, ameenda hapo, ameenda pale, amelala hapa, si ndio? Kwa hivyo mambo yangu ya usalama ikienda kombo, watu ya hapa ndio wataulizwa. Kwa sababu mmoja ni huyu ndio ADC wangu, mwingine Lomodokin ni mtu ya GSU, mama huyu Banis ndio anachunga polisi. Sasa maneno ya usalama ikienda kombo, nani ataulizwa? Si watu ya Samburu. So mchunge hiyo kazi. Mchunge vizuri.
It's either no one has ever explained security protocols to Ruto or he knowingly breaks them. Either way, when it's all said and done, mambo ya usalama ikienda combo, that's his fault, not the ADC, because the ADC is not the one publicly naming the State House security team now, is it? Anywho, that's just my take, guys. Do drop me your comments in the comment section below and I'll do my best to read them and to give you a response. And with that is today's ad of the day. If you're in need of office petitioning or home interior works, i.e. kitchen cabinets, modern media walls, wall decoration, wainscoting, wardrobes, tiles, bathrooms, window blinds, gypsum and so on, reach out to Suima's Interiors at 07170 443 or info@suimas.co.ke, and they'll get all your needs sorted out. Whatever it may be, all interior works. These guys are the best at it. Now, if you're here for the first time, please go on and hit the subscribe button. And if you're watching for a different platform, just head on over to YouTube, search for David Wafula. Hit the subscribe button. You're going to be getting a ton of content of this nature. If politics is something you're passionate about, this is definitely the one channel that you really need to subscribe to. All right, guys, adios. Thank you for choosing David Wafula as your primary news platform. We put countless hours in research, recording, and editing. By showing up each and every day to watch our videos, you encourage us to generate more videos for the viewers. We are on a mission to inform, educate, and build a better tomorrow. To our thousands of followers in a world full of presidents, kings, and queens, you are the real gem. Adios.